62-year-old grandmother sitting there, having a little breakfast, and just getting ready to go for a morning walk. She loves the Today Show. And this is the summation of what she knows about this entire madness of yesterday.
Speaking of, the president's been talking a lot about Hunter Biden. Yeah. There's a bunch of back and forth. You can just bring us up to date on that.
I will. And this is a questionably sourced story, to say the least, that appeared in a tabloid that President Trump and his allies are really trying to seize on here, alleging that Joe Biden may have had a meeting that was set up with somebody that Hunter Biden worked with on this Ukrainian company. Now, the story is so dubious, and we should note, by the way, that the Biden campaign says that meeting was never on Biden's official schedule.
That's not exactly true.
Facebook and Twitter made moves to try to limit the spread of this story. And the Washington Post is reporting that some intelligence experts think this has the hallmark of like a disinformation campaign.
All right, so let's go. Hold on. Let's go through I want to break down. This answer is insane. It is insane. I'm saying somebody, again, I don't fucking care really who wins the election. I swear to God, I don't. But this answer is she is like a Manchurian reporter. It is terrifying.
Kim Jong-un is watching this and going, clapping, very good.
Well done.
Very good. I'm going to show this in propaganda class, man.
And Savannah Guthrie immediately doesn't stop. I'd be like, first of all, I'd say, Hallie, do you ever wonder why Hunter Biden got this job? What is his resume? But go ahead.
Have you attempted to contact Hunter Biden? By the way, when's his press conference?
So I'll play reporter because Savannah Guthrie, I guess, doesn't know how to do it. I mean, she sat there for years watching Lauer friggin' leer and do whatever he was doing, but that's a whole different story. Sorry, guys. Let me hear Hallie.
Actually, a lot of similarities between Lauer and Hunter, but
that's true. It's true. Go ahead.
Speaking of, the president's been talking a lot about Hunter Biden. Yeah. There's a bunch of back and forth. You can just bring us up to date on that.
All right, stop. So I don't even know what that means. He's been talking a lot about Hunter Biden. Okay. There's been a lot of back and forth. Has there been a lot of back and forth?
There was at the debate because there are separate issues.
2 weeks ago.
There's the $3.5 million from the wife of the mayor of Moscow. There's the business dealings in China, and then separately there's this Ukraine thing, and then there's the crack smoking and getting.
But that's Savannah Guthrie not wanting to get into the details right there.
She probably doesn't know him. There is so many layers of corruption.
Okay, she's a fucking reporter on the Today Show. I mean, she should know.
Yeah, I mean, she's
moderated presidential debates.
She's basically an actress.
She's going to host the election coverage tonight on NBC. She should know. She's going to interview the president tonight. So, okay, so Hallie Jackson immediately, again, you're right. She's talking and then her eyes just get she's clearly, she's clearly got
the training kicks, just flashbacks to that desert.
You will do what you're told. You will do what you're told, Hallie Jackson. If you want a job in mainstream media, you will follow along. Do you understand?
Dubious.
This is a questionably sourced story.
All right, stop. Okay, so questionably sourced story, to say the least. And if I'm Savannah Guthrie, what's questionable about it? You may have a good answer. What's questionable about it? No? Okay, go ahead. To say the least.
It appeared in a tabloid.
Okay, stop. Which tabloid? The Inquirer?
It's the tabloid that was started by Alexander Hamilton. It's called the New York Post.
It doesn't mean it's on it is a tabloid. But do you, if the New York Post wrote something like this about, one of Trump's kids, would you say that? No? Okay.
The venerable New York Post on Wednesday broke the news that Don Trump Jr. was smoking crack.
I mean, sorry we're not as venerable as NBC News, which has fucking been a disaster the last 5. I mean, do we need to go over what a disgrace they've been?
If this was at slate.com, they would not be saying questionably sourced.
Fuck no. Go ahead.
By the way, the New York Times never produced the tax documents that they were reporting on.
No
one knows that those exist. No one knows how those were acquired.
They're saying they won't. They're saying they won't. They eventually they will. That's what I mean.
Just like Trump will release his taxes once the audit's over.
Again, I say this before we get back to Hallie Jackson there and let her wash her nose and clean up for a second. According by their standards, 2 reporters about 50 years ago now essentially used a single source and were mocked the entire time by mainstream media for a story they did. And it was, single sourced, anonymous, shaky. Other newspapers, other people in the media were critical of them. Their names were Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein. So I'm trying to remember what that story. Oh yeah, Watergate.
They were relying on illegal leaks.
Yeah. So by Twitter standards today, if they're being consistent, they would not allow that story. Correct?
No, because Nixon was a Republican.
No, I'm saying, but if they're being consistent, if they're consistent on both sides.
If we want to take their standard naively,
that's what I'm saying.
But if we want to take them at their word,
correct.
Yes, they would not allow it.
They would not allow it. Yes. I would not be allowed to send you the latest story from Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein, even before as they broke over the course of a year, as they broke this story. by today's Twitter standard, which they've set now.
Mm-hmm.
So like, does Twitter? So like, if our friend Adam Schefter has an anonymous source that says that some coach is going to get fired, it's an anonymous source, single source. Does that story run?
Well, they're relying on the hacked aspect of it, how the information was obtained.
Okay. What if he got it? What if he got it that way?
So, well,
what if an email said that?
Like, if Adam Schefter got hacked or illegally obtained video of an NFL player punching the shit out of his girlfriend,
like Ray Rice,
yes,
yeah,
would not be able to publish it because it's hacked material.
Okay, but they would
could be a deep fake. Who knows?
But of course, they would publish it, right?
Oh yeah. The only principle here is growing liberal power.
I mean, listen, this is somebody who seriously, I swear to God. She went in to work that morning at NBC. I think this is how it works now. I really do. I don't think she's a human being. I think they just like, they open her head. It's almost like a David Lynch movie. They do the big circle on her head, take her head, take the brain and just do whatever they do to it and then shove it back in there, twist it, have her go in there and have her look at like bright lights and different colors and kaleidoscopes and things that change and things from the past and just brainwash her. And then she rolls in there, sits down, smiles and just gives you that company line. This is a reporter? Go ahead.
Trump and his allies are really trying to seize on here, alleging that Joe Biden may have had a meeting that was set up with somebody that Hunter Biden worked with on this Ukrainian company. Now, the story is so dubious, and we should note, by the way, that the Biden campaign says that meeting was never on Biden's official schedule.
So here's the thing. Okay, so if you were going to set up a meeting to do some corrupt business to profit your son.
Official schedule.
Yes, official schedule. But then the Biden campaign walked it back later in the day to Politico.
Sort of. They sort of half-assed.
They're saying, we're not sure that there was an informal meeting. But here's the thing. If you remember back to 2016, when they were trying to make Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General, into like an agent of Russia, there was some buffet luncheon that he went to that the Russian ambassador happened to also be at. And they said, they were there in the same room with 40 other people for maybe 45 minutes. And they tried to say that like the entire Russia conspiracy thing was hatched here because, they bumped into each other while they were fighting over bacon at the buffet or something.
Well, I have the vice president's schedule that day right here if you'd like it. 9 a.m. Sniff hair. 10 a.m. Sniff hair. 11 a.m. Sniff hair. Noon. This is official. This is official schedule. Noon. Meet, intimidate, and fire a person who is giving my son trouble in Ukraine. This is official schedule. I mean, I don't know why I didn't look at this. I love that she's like, this dummy is like, the Biden people said it never happened. And the Washington Post is reporting. Oh, well, okay.